Ladies and gentlemen, who got Moshing Mustafa out at that time? Like, why? What's good, you guys? Welcome in. How's it going, everybody? Let's see who's in the fucking house. Boris, red medalist, Code Skulls, Askur, Last Chance Chaz, Rach, Yepeki. Thank you guys for checking in. Make sure that you check in if you have not already checked in. That's how we know you guys aren't assholes and pieces of shit in general. And Tamimi is in the house. What's good, Tamimi? How's it going? Tamimi is an OG over here. For those that don't know who that is, learn your unmuted history. How's my? I just fucked my camera up. Don't worry about it, guys. Today we have a guest. I've been practicing this for like 10 years, by the way, you guys. Miltiades, Kyvernitis. We'll hit the intro. Milton, welcome to the show, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
There's
First time I do something like this in the big studio, in my studio.
Yeah, it looks good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
It's pretty smooth.
With my little foreskin right here. Nobody's gonna get it.
Your mic is nice and hidden away. Mine's right in my face.
Yep.
But during that intro, or during the countdown, you got to see a little bit about what Twitch does and how these guys are turning on fucking sounds and explosions and shit. Is that the first time? Because we didn't have all that crazy shit back then when you first came on the show.
No, we did. It was during the pandemic, I think we did a show, and you did have all of this random...
Thank you for screaming Slayer, Ascode. I appreciate that.
All of this... You know what? This is making me want to do a soundbite for you to use for your show too now.
Yeah, I would fucking love that.
Yeah, we can do something.
Yeah, we absolutely need to do something. But the tradition is, Milton, it's tradition around here to have you introduce yourself to the tribe, just in case, for those that might not know you. Who are you?
My name is Miltiades Kyvernitis. I grew up here in Dubai. I've been involved in the music scene since probably 2000, 2001, somewhere there. I saw Nerve Cell take the stage the first time. I've been producing music a long time and working with different musicians, different artists, etc., etc. And it started from a bedroom studio, and now I have this, God willing.
Yeah, we'll talk about MNK and everything that you built. The way you said been around for a long time just makes me think of how old we are. Like, it hurt my knees listening to that. But everybody knows the second you set foot on this channel, chat, do you guys want to tell them how old we are? Whether you're 18 or 81 years old, you're automatically 43 in this channel. That's the way it is.
Who pushed that number there that I'm seeing on the screen now?
Everybody. Yeah. See, we're all 43, regardless.
Okay. Well, that's smack bang correct. I am 43.
You exactly. That's what I meant.
I must have looked up my Facebook or something. If any of these guys still use Facebook, I still use Facebook.
You still use Facebook?
Yeah, to share stuff the same way I use Instagram for stories and whatnot. Funny stuff.
Dude, I don't think I even have my login for Facebook.
Oh, look, it's Bailuni.
Bailuni! What's good?
Yes. Milton has regretted his decision. No, I have not. I'm here, man. You know where I am. Come by. Yeah.
But yeah, we are old. Everybody's 43, and you are one of the few people that can say you were literally here from the very beginning. Like, when it comes to not just the music in terms of like the metal scene, but music as a culture. Thank you for that. Music as a culture and like as not a culture, like an industry, I would say.
Yeah, as far as the local scene is concerned, anyway. And I think the rock and metal scene has always, been around, and it really just took off. I think after 98, 99, I was still in school, but I met Serge then. He was in school with me, and he had a horde back at that time too. I think it was around that time, 98, 99. And then I went to audio engineering school back then as well, and I focused on working with local bands, doing local shows, live shows. I used to do live mixing as well. The Lucian gigs, I don't know if you were there for those.
I don't think I was there for those ones.
Evolution, Revolution, Absolution. I think those were the names. Yeah, it was a guy called Kieran. He was a fantastic guitarist. He used to live here. He lives in India now. But we used to have these shows at Nashwan Hall, and we had bands like Mankind, Paragon, so many names, so many old names. Nerve Cell as well.
I remember Mankind. I think they opened the first Dubai Desert Rock Festival.
No, that was Juliana Down.
I think I remember that name.
The first festival was the Rasmus.
No. Then I'm talking about the 2005 one.
I can't remember.
No, I mean it was fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, 20 years ago. Yeah, I was in my early 20s, like you.
Yeah. I was 43 back then.
Oh, okay. Still playing that. Yeah, I'm not gonna ever get this. Yeah.
They did play Dubai Desert Rock. I remember that. Curry Whiskers, what's good? Yeah, I remember specifically they played because they had a laptop or something that they were trying to like do some synth stuff with, and it didn't work. I remember that for some reason.
I don't. I do remember the Nashwan Hall gigs though. Those were pretty good. We get up to 1,000 people per gig at that time.
Yeah.
And Nashwan Hall was in Al Nasser Leisureland, in case you don't know. And it was just one giant hall, just huge. And I still remember some of the faces. Who used to go there? Lara, I think Lara. You remember Lara?
From CSM.
Not Lara from CSM. The Lebanese girl, or Syrian girl, sorry. She used to come. Monkey was there. Josh, I think Josh. It's a lot. Everybody was really young. There was like young teens. They were teens at the time. Now they're in their 30s. But it's a lot of. Didn't Milton open for Avenged? Yes, we did with Aneurysm. We opened for a lot of big bands back in the day, but we were really in it. So
Sabbath as well, yeah.
No, I mean we opened for Avenged as well. And who else was there? Nightwish in Lebanon. Was it Nightwish? I can't remember. I don't know if John is on the chat, but
Jay is in. Jay Inferno. And also Jay, thank you for that sub. Appreciate it, brother.
Jay's here?
Yeah.
Is that Jay my Jay or is that Jay your Jay?
I believe that's Jay your Jay.
Wow. You're in your 40s and you have a name like Jay Inferno? Oh, there he is. Red Medalist. Yes, that's John. Yes, there he is. Yeah, so Aneurysm is watching this show tonight, Mr. Adnan.
Fuck yeah. Welcome in, boys. Let's go back to the very start. Like, you went to audio engineering school, playing guitar. The scene was popping off. There was fucking 1,000 people showing up to local shows. What was the big takeaway from back then? Like, did it feel like, oh shit, we're building something, or was it just like?
Yeah, 100%. It was a little odd for me at that time, simply because I didn't expect it. But there were a lot of metalheads back at that time, and I think it's pretty consistent, the rock and metal thing over here. What I do know is, seeing it from that time until now, is that the consistency of support is there, as opposed to other genres. The rock and metal thing just seems to bring people together. Yeah, okay, there's different types of rock, different types of metal, etc., but it's within the same family. As long as you can bang your heads, I guess it's all right.
Do you remember the thank you for that, Tamimi.
Brother,
what's that?
Brother,
what's that, brother?
you remember the a documentary Sam Dunn made, Headbanger's Journey, where he looked at metal from an anthropology point of view? He was like studying it in terms of a tribe, which I thought was very interesting. And I think that's what you were talking about. It's like, regardless of the subgenres and all the wars that happen on fucking Reddit threads. I don't, what's it called, chat? I know you guys fucking watch or tune into Reddit or whatever it is. But yeah, it is like a community, regardless of what happens. It's always, metal scenes always turn into a community. And I feel like, at least back then, and when I first came to the UAE, there was a fucking huge community when it came to that.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably right. I might not necessarily think that way, but I think that as music in itself, I think just music is that unifying factor. It's something that you have in common. I don't like to be associated myself with tribes. I don't like that. I don't understand it. But I know that something can bring people together, and from my experience, in all that time, it's been heavy metal music. What I like about heavy metal is that for a lot of people it's a phase, but for a lot of people like myself, it sticks. And it probably has a lot to do with a lot of common thoughts about the world. A lot of emo moments in your childhood or in your presenthood or whatever it is. Now for me, it's not so much that, but it's I enjoy good music, you know, and it can be about any topic. I'm more a music focused guy than lyrics guy anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, by Looney. It played a big role by Looney. I went to a good SAE, the one in London. We learned electronics, mathematics, there's a lot of that in there, signal flow, the proper signal flow tests, understanding how the audio goes through the system before it goes out, etc. So it was quite good for me. And a lot of older engineers who I would say now are my age, but back then who are my age now, did join to get the theory side of it. Then they get a better understanding of the system in itself and how it works and how sound works.
Yeah, I went to SAE as well. I did the audio engineering one in Jordan and then film production here in Dubai. But
how'd that work out?
Yeah, they're very different to you because I didn't use shit from it. I feel like I learned the majority of the stuff that I have in real world and like in experience, not necessarily the theory behind it. But then again, I transitioned.
It's good to have the theory, but you know, it's the extreme. It works both ways, right? Most professors have never had real world experience, so most of the time they just talk and teach you. But there's only so much you can gain without any practice, and most, doctors and professors are like that. And the thing with the opposite side is you might know what you're doing from memory, but if you don't understand the foundations of it, then you're only ever halfway there.
Yeah, 100%. Did you ever study music theory? Like the actual?
We did, but it wasn't my thing. My thing is sound. So yeah. I am not a musician. I can play a guitar, but I'm not a musician. So John is a musician, and I'm sure there are many other musicians on here, actual musicians, but I'm not a musician.
Yeah,
I just like a good sound.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm not a musician. I scream. I learned how to scream in a band, and it's not even singing. I just scream my head off.
You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Really good at the scream thing.
I appreciate that.
Now maybe you can evolve and start singing.
Yeah, I'll hit a note one day. I'm sure I will.
Surprise everybody like that arch enemy release that they did where she sings for a moment and everybody was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I think they just released a full song with that basically is all clean vocals and everybody's losing their mind.
I need to look that up.
we can
I'm not a
check it
drummer.
out in a bit.
Look, Tamimi's saying I'm not a drummer either. We know.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've hit a note somewhere, Adnan. I have evidence. Yeah, I know, but if you tell me to repeat it, I won't be able to.
Yeah.
How were you
So,
using
yeah,
the
man.
audio interest and audio knowledge back then for the scene? Like, were you mixing live shows? Were you helping bands out? Because you've always been
Yeah.
involved somehow, but what was it like?
You see, back then everything was, today you've got consoles that have everything in them, and you have minimal need for outboard gear. Now, because my father he had a company that was supplying this stuff. I used to be able to take them for these gigs, and I'm talking like proper gear with racks of, compressors, gates for drums, reverb units, Midas consoles, and the large ones like I think it was called Verona at the time, analog consoles. And we used to set up the monitors as well. And I would apply what I learned for studio in live. And what I found, I'm not saying this about myself, but in general, if you have studio knowledge and you have studio experience, you almost always get a better sound live when you know how live works than a live engineer who's never done studio sound or has, never done theory of sound.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I got into sound? My mother helped me go that way. I got into Metallica when I was 14, and I fell in love with how it sounded, and that's how I developed an interest in sound engineering. And you're in your teens, you don't know what to do with your life. Mom's like, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the audio engineering school, and that's what you're gonna do. All right, Mom, that's what I'm gonna do. I went to SAE, and it was what I'm doing. So
very rare circumstance where the parents push you in a direction that you're already in love with, kind of, and it's exactly where you're supposed to be. Because usually it's
mother.
like, I want you to be
parents.
a lawyer.
I said mother.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly what our standard stereotype here is in the Middle East. It's like they force you to be an engineer or some shit that you don't want, and then you end up doing a 9 to 5 and let out all the creative juices outside of those hours.
Yes. So yeah, it's I'm like, I get it. Like, the dads worry about their kids, and especially the sons and their future and what they're gonna, because they got to stand up on their own 2 feet and make their living, etc. So that's always a worry for them. And if they don't know what it is you're getting into, they may not necessarily agree with it. But you only understand it when you get older, not when you're, young and rebellious.
That's a perfect segue that you did it that way, because I wanted to talk about voice acting and doing that for you. Did that for a long time as well, right?
Yeah, 20 years. No, 25, 20, yeah, 25 years almost.
How does one get into that? Because were you just always like interested in voice acting and it just happened, or were you good at doing impressions and you're like,
I've
hey.
always done impressions. Yeah, I've always done impressions, and I've always been able to mimic. I think somebody heard my voice once. My first gig was at BKP back in 2001, and I did a read for Nokia back then. It was a script for Nokia.
Rest in peace, Nokia.
Aren't they still around?
I don't know, but I'm just mourning the idea of them.
Yeah, and it took off from there. The Dubai One gig, that happened because we scheduled an artist to come in and record. He didn't show up, and they needed something to go on air, so I did it, and then that became the regular. So I'm contracted to Dubai One exclusively for voiceover branding, basically. So I do all their trailers, their teasers, DMI announcements. During COVID, I was doing all the emergency announcements, protocols, all that for radio and TV. So yeah.
I remember the trailers. I think I even texted you once with a question if it was you, because I remember a trailer being played on Dubai One, and I was like, is that fucking Milton on the?
Sorry, I just saw Rachel's comment about Nokia. It's quite funny. Connecting people, no more. Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, no, I still do those trailers. It's part of my monthly stint. So yeah. And I do it from anywhere in the world. So if I'm traveling and they need scripts done, I'll book a studio somewhere over there. You know, because I like to see the studios that are everywhere, and I've been to quite a lot worldwide. And it's always good fun.
This is something that I wanted to ask you about. Having you know, you're 20 years in the game with something like that. Fucking AI and voice acting / voiceover work and all that stuff that comes. We have touched on AI on this channel a couple of times. We tried to build a band entirely with AI, including the way they look, the album cover, the songs themselves, the lyrics, everything, just to kind of get a feel of what the fuck this technology is capable of. And one of the things
it's capable of a lot. We've seen it in Terminator and Terminator 2.
yeah. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Possible to happen. You know, if you know, if they can do this much with the resources they have now, you know, it's not unfathomable. Is that the right word? It's not something that you would say no to. I think it's very, very possible. But as far as AI is concerned, fuck AI, man.
Yeah.
AI. The only people who like AI are tech bros and businesses that don't want to pay real artists.
So as a studio owner, as a guy that's been in voice acting, as a musician, all that stuff, what's your take on the new generation that is entirely either relying on or using AI, not just as a tool to help them like organize their shit, but like for the actual creative part?
Look, if it's put together entirely by a machine, then it's not music, and it's not art. Art is a human emotion, is an expression of human emotion, and if the machine is doing that with a prompt, then how is it an emotion? How is it art?
Yeah.
You know, that's my argument. A lot of people, I can understand it being a tool to assist, you know, with ideas, but as far as the execution and the creativity is concerned, I think that anything that is done with AI needs to be labeled so, and any monetary, you know, distribution needs to be halted. Because AI cannot create its own. It's taking from somewhere something to put that sound together. That's how that's what happens with voiceovers. You either record the voiceover or you blend voiceovers to create a different voice. So I'm absolutely not for AI at all.
Yeah. I follow this voiceover artist on Instagram, and she posted something where a company asked her for a demo, for her to read a couple of pages as a demo or a couple of paragraphs. She sent that in. She didn't get the gig. Then she saw an ad pop up on her Instagram directed at her that was her voice. And that was that company that used a sample of her voice to have AI learn it. And then they got her voice to read the script.
They have no honor, those people. No honor at all. That's theft. Fuck them.
Yeah. Have you faced anything like that at all, or you're?
No, not yet. But if it happens, then I know what I need to do. So
yeah,
you know, I think my voice is quite distinct. I know I can do impressions, but I know what I sound like because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So, and I have an accent. I have a weird accent. It's kind of muddled up. So it's impossible to recreate it without me realizing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm not for AI. Technically, it's machine learning, so it's learning from something. When it's indecently done, so it's common humans, tricky one. Fuck them all by Looney. Fuck things too. Okay. Someone tried doing it with our music. We found out. Thankfully, it got taken down. Yeah,
Wait,
fuck
what did
them
you
all.
say? Someone tried doing it with our music. We found out. Thankfully, it got taken down. Okay. Chaz is the vocalist of the UK-based band Avira, by the way. That fucking
Nice
sucks.
to meet you. Nice to see you. In text.
Yeah. Tamimi, hey Adnan, you got the vape? I did. I stopped smoking cigarettes, but now I suck on robot penis most of my day.
Ooh.
It's the only way I could explain it.
No. Yeah. So that's AI is something that I think everybody needs to take seriously and don't let it just walk all over. I think it's gonna cause a lot of problems. And it already is. I mean, we get a lot of inquiries regarding recording voiceovers for AI purposes and modeling and all that. So, and we do our best to be very fair with the artists as well. But most artists, the professionals, they won't do it. And
they won't.
I understand them. I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel's asking, speaking of accents, you're always requesting American or British for VO ops. I want a chance at it. As I have done some campaigns before. Which accent would that be?
You have a weird accent, so. But
she does. She's Lebanese.
No, but it's not entirely Lebanese. That's the thing. If you have a reel, send it over to us. If you don't have a reel, come over. We'll record some demo scripts for you, and we'll keep it in our database. And when there's an inquiry, we send them out. We always send out options to the clients to choose from, depending on what they're looking for. So yeah.
Low key, it's funny how Linkin Park only show up around tech revolutions, Y2K, and then AI. It's a good observation. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, then they came after Limp Bizkit, so but they didn't really. What did they do that was relevant to tech back then? Okay, fine. They had the
DJ and yeah. They had a lot of samples and stuff as well.
Yeah. No, man, I miss. When you're forming a band and when you're doing music, you need to be doing it together. Like, whether you're writing music or rehearsing music, like, yeah, okay, forget my stuff. Like, Private Government is almost solely mine with contributions from everybody else. But like with Aneurysm, we were in all the time, and if we were not rehearsing together, we were always rehearsing at home. And just coming up with ideas, even during the rehearsal for the live sets, we'd come up with new ideas for intros then that weren't necessarily on the albums or on the records. But it's the way people are doing music now with machine. Like, look, I get people make the argument about using electronics to create music, like using MIDI, for instance, but it's not the same. Like, you can't make that argument because with today's machine learning, you're entering prompts or whatever it is they're doing, and it's recreating everything itself. Even if you have no musical background whatsoever, anybody can do it. So I keep looking at this camera, but you're right there. So it's it's it really sucks to know that this is how a lot of people are doing music, because it used to bring. It's supposed to bring, when you have a band, it's supposed to bring bands together. So you unify in one direction in getting your message across or whatever it is in the art form that you've employed. But bands are, there's bands that are bands, but not really bands. There's one, person doing all the work. Everybody's remote, using machines. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I want to ask chat. There's a lot of musicians in chat. Band in jam room, and you guys write, or is it a little more remote and sending ideas back and forth, or how do you guys do it?
It's no, you have to be together. I mean, it's one thing to put down ideas, but share it together in the room.
Yeah.
Because everybody calls a vote. It's either a yes or a no, or if they may not like that variation of it, you change it, and they like that variation of it, you put something together, and you have to feel it. So that's what I miss about my band days, was the fun of doing the music together, jamming in the jam room, and just having a really, really good time. And feeling the music whenever the chorus, like say you've got a majestic chorus that comes in, and you all just you feel it, you feel it, like hair-raising feel. When's the last time music made your hair raise on your skin?
It happens quite often. It actually happens quite often. I listen to a lot of music, obviously, because of this stream as well. But in a jam room, that feeling of like nailing something with your bandmates is unparalleled for sure.
Yeah. No, there's something else about it, man.
Askur says depends on the budget. Depends on the budget to get into a jam room or not, which is the perfect segue. The perfect segue into exactly where you're sitting, into MNK Studios. Tamim says I play what the guitarist thinks is good drums and then fix it. That works too.
I play with the guitarist things is good drums and fix it. What the fuck English is this, bro?
I play what the guitarist I think he means. I play what the guitarist thinks.
Oh, okay, fine.
But speaking of jam rooms, speaking of getting into a jam room, you are currently sat in MNK Studio, your studios, that has a whole bunch of rooms, recording capabilities, fucking Dolby. Let's dive into it a little bit. And it's the 4-year anniversary right now, like today, I think, or this month at least.
August 1st was the 4th year anniversary.
Oh, okay. I just gotta.
Almost.
I got it. I got it a little wrong. I got it just
almost. Yeah. Late by a month and a bit, but it's okay.
It's plus minus inshallah time. That's how we like to work around here. But yeah, tell me a little bit about MNK.
It's basically my bedroom times 5. It's MNK, the name itself's been around since 2005. I've used it forever. But we built this around 2000. Sorry, not 2000, my bad. We started implementing the ideas and executing the build around 2020, summer 2020.
Yeah.
Or a little bit earlier. We had a pause during COVID, and then we resumed about 4 months later, and we were open by August 1st. And August 1st was September. Coming September was Expo, and we locked the deal to have all the musicians that were performing there do all the rehearsals here for 6 months. So we were booked out for 6 months, which was great. But the idea just started from wanting to create a space that was from the ground up, comfortable, clean, well-maintained instruments, sorry, my bad, some mood lighting to create the mood, with a recording facility that they could just, record the rehearsals and use for their social media or whatever it is they wanted, musicians want to do. And at a decent price point, which I've heard, I've heard rumors that, I heard a rumor that we charge 600 dirhams for small rooms per hour. I was like, what? Who's the cunt who's trying to derail my business? But we, I worded like this: if you're paying 100 dirhams anywhere else, you're overpaying for that space. It's as simple as that. I have a team over here that helps the musicians set up.
Incredible,
Nothing's
by the way.
Nothing is ever broken. Drummers get their own monitors. We set up the PA for them. We set up their mix for them, their sound, etc. They can go as loud as they want. The rooms are absolutely isolated.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks good on camera. Use it for whatever it is you need to. Record because you have the chance to do it. There's no extra charge for it. We're currently running an offer for 175 dirhams per hour with the cymbals. We usually charge separately for the cymbals. And the reason, I'm going to throw this in here, Adnan, the reason we charge for the cymbals is because I can do it in one of two ways. I either charge for the cymbals for a full day, which is I think 80 dirhams, 85 dirhams. How much is it, Viral? 85 dirhams? It's either 85 dirhams for the full day, you get the full cymbal set, do whatever you want, or you pay a deposit. And if you break the cymbals, then you pay for it. So the way I avoid this problem is we charge for the cymbals, and if I need to replace them, somebody breaks them, I don't charge the poor guy for a cymbal, which we know costs as much as a cheap drum kit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was the thinking behind it, because I'm pretty sure that all of you can count the number of studios you've been to that have broken cymbals.
Yep. And Asko just said it in chat because Tamimi breaks all the cymbals.
No, he's good. He's a good. He hasn't broken any cymbals. No.
There was a running joke back in the day because they were all broken anyway, but we just blamed him for everything.
Yeah. So you know, everything's been thoroughly thought of, and it is a you know, there are certain things that the company needs to meet at the end of the month to continue sustaining itself.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, you know, we charge a little bit more than everybody else, but we offer 10 times more. And we have good packages as well. Take the packages. You know, you can leave your stuff here. We've got lockers for everybody to use. And if you don't want to carry your amp home, you can leave it in there. You don't want to carry your cymbal bag. If you bring your own cymbals, you can leave it here. Just put the lock and you're good. The idea of building this space was to give something of decent quality to, you know, everybody. But that comes at a price. And it's just because, you know, companies have certain costs that they have to pay every month. And if they can't pay it, then they shut down. So,
no.
You know,
I feel like
somebody
was how much of the decision making when it came to the build and all the stuff that you're talking about, like having a jam room, but also having it be entirely rigged in a way where everybody could record multi-track so that they could check out their rehearsal sessions, all that stuff. How much of that was of those decisions was just based on you going to jam rooms your entire life and being like, as a musician, I also want to see X, Y, Z?
That was all my decision. That was my choice. We offer stereo tracking free of charge with the rooms. Mm-hmm. Multi-tracking, we charge a little bit more, but you know, it's multi-tracking. You can take it to any studio you want or take it home and fiddle with the tracks. Obviously, as well, the difference is the multi-tracking in those rooms. The way we offer it is, okay, you can multi-track, but there really isn't an engineer to monitor it, and it is a jam room at the end of the day, and it is a live jam happening at the same time. So, you know, that has its limitations in itself, nothing to do with us. Proper tracking, we obviously track it to Pro Tools, etc. You know, isolated sound, make sure everything's clean. The idea of choosing to offer that to musicians is that with the tools we have today, it's a nice idea to put in a little effort into the material you're putting out, because people notice when you put effort into the material you're putting out, whether it's, you know, your social media posts, your content, you know, the devil's in the details is the saying.
Yep.
And people notice when you put in the little extra effort, and they appreciate it a little bit more, because most people half-ass everything they do today. That's, you know, uncontestable fact. And I've seen it one too many times, half-assery. So when I put this together, this was based on my experience jamming in all the jam rooms in Dubai from 2007 onwards. You know, some of the rooms we know, they're good for what, you know, they offer, but not good enough, and not enough effort, um, and not wanting to make things better. You know, it's one thing to set up a concrete room with some material on the wall, etc., like we have over here. But the difference is this is actually built from the ground up,
Yeah.
right? It was an empty warehouse, and everything came up, and it's all acoustic material, and it's designed to enhance the experience of the user in the room. Nobody ever leaves with ear fatigue here, ever.
Yeah.
It's impossible to leave with ear fatigue because there's no reflection. There's almost no reflections whatsoever. So, you know, in that regard, I tried my best to provide that kind of space for the music audience over here, and for the most part, it's doing well. You know, like I get the idea of, you know, 100 dirhams versus 175, 200 dirhams. Do I really want to pay it? But you're like 5 people in the band, and then you're gonna go for beer afterwards, and you live in Dubai. Like, really? Really?
Yeah.
You got 100 tattoos on your fucking arm and your fucking legs. You fucking kidding me? Like, come on. Like, you can't fool me. Like, I've been through that. All right. So, you know, but I might be different. Like, I'll pay for comfort. I'll pay for quality.
Yeah.
But that's how I think. Is I don't like headache, and I don't like not having a good time doing something that I love because something's not working. Whether it's the smell in the place, whether the cymbals are broken, whether the speaker can't pump out low end. You know,
The smell in the place, I know exactly what you're talking about, by the way.
I'm not saying anything, but my point is, like, these little things, like, that's why we've got subs in the smaller rooms, because, you know, maybe the drummer wants to feel a little oomph come out of his kick.
Yeah.
So we'll put subs in there. Okay, we'll feed a little bit so you can feel a little bit of low end, and the whole band can feel it too. And you know that the air moving out of that subwoofer, you know, moves you. You know, it's waves at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I've talked to a lot of people from the scene generally, and I've heard that same thing that you're talking about, like, oh no, I'll just go to the cheaper option because it's cheaper and stuff. But they instantly change their mind once they actually go to the place and experience it. As soon as you're in that room and you start jamming, everybody's like, okay, all right, let's stick to this one.
I don't know. We are here. The doors are open for everybody. Everybody is welcome to come and try it out. You know, you have to think of it like this: if the money that you're spending, you know, if the money that you're spending doing something you love is going to put a dent on your life, then you shouldn't be spending it at all, one way or another.
There you go.
Focus on doing your work, make some money, then do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna cry about 50 dirhams divided by 5 people, it's quite fucking embarrassing, bro. I put it out there. It's fucking embarrassing. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, you know.
Yeah. Curry Whiskers has a question for you.
Curry who?
Curry Whiskers.
Curry Whiskers.
Yeah.
Question: going to school for audio is one thing, but being able to sustain a business is another. 100%. I enjoy doing creative work, but I'm a complete moron business-wise. Where'd you get your business sense from? Two
Great
things.
fucking question.
I studied it. I had because I wanted to, even though I didn't. Look, creative people naturally don't have the business sense. You have to acquire it. And I know the difference between the two because my father is a businessman and I've seen him work and I've seen the way he works. He can play some instruments, but he's a businessman. He's business-minded. So I learned a lot from him growing up, and I took it upon myself to learn a little bit about finance, to learn a little bit about marketing. I've got my wife who has a business sense too, you know, and with all of these, like, everything starts to make sense in the way this current life operates, like with record labels. Okay, bands are quick to dismiss record labels. They call them money hungry fuckers, etc. But back in the day, those labels used to finance your records. When they book you time in the studio to do your full album of recording, they paid for it, right? So it's their recordings. It belongs to them. The music is yours, but it belongs to them. And the young people, the young musicians today, need to understand this. You absolutely have to understand this. Is the battery okay on the camera? Yeah. Because if you don't, you're always going to think everybody's going after you, when all the labels are asking you to do is put your music out and keep at it, you know? And the same problem still applies today. There are artists out there that are getting money from labels, new labels, old labels, etc., but they're not putting in their end of the bargain. And I'm not speaking for labels per se, you know? But if I was a label and I was forking out 50, 60,000 dirhams to produce your record at a top tier studio, I'm gonna need at least to break even. And if you're not gonna put in the effort, then why should I bother? And the recordings are mine because I paid for them, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the business acumen was something that I had to acquire over time. It was difficult. It was very, very difficult, but you have to put in the effort. That's what I was saying about the half-assery thing. You can't half-ass when you set up a company. It's really difficult to run a company. And I don't think people understand. I don't think anybody on this chat, unless you've got your own company, understands how tough it is to run a company. I got to make sure my employees are happy. You know, I got to make sure my team is happy, you know? When it comes to working with artists, if the artists are trouble, I ask them, do you want to continue working with them? If they don't want to work with them because they're giving them too much headache. And my team are very, very tolerant, young, eager music producers and engineers. You know, it got to that point at one point. I know Bailoon is probably going to say something if he's still on here because he knows the story. But, you know, we had an artist who, you know, thought that they were all that. I'm saying they so that I don't specify. And caused a lot of grief for the music producers, didn't give any credit to the work that they did, which was all their work. So I asked them, do you want to continue working with her? No. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but in a creative environment, you know, unless there's synergy between all of you, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So doors that way.
Is there any conflict between your artist side and your business side when you have to make tough decisions like that? Are you like the creative side is like, oh, let's give them a little bit more space and a little bit more room and stuff, but the business side is like, we need to cut it, or is everything in sync?
Sorry about that. I think I'm a generous person when it comes to these small things, you know. If the music is good, I'm more generous because I really like the music.
Yeah.
But we need to stick to rules, because if we keep breaking them, then there's no point, right? So I generally differentiate between the two. I know how to do it now. So, and I've got my family to help to thank for that, because you know, I have a creative mind. But the business side is very tough. It's very, very tough. You know me. You know, I'm really straightforward. So I have people that, you know, I work with and have hired that, you know, represent me with a smile. You know, when you go and meet clients, I try to be, you know, it's tough, man. It's really tough.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm blunt. Right. And I generally don't have a filter. I do know how to hold back a little bit, but I don't have a filter. And if I think a client is taking me for a ride, then I let them know. But for the most part, we have good clients. So, you know, and it's just about finding common ground to ensure that we can work together. Because when you're a creative guy working with non-creative clients, there's always going to be a clash.
Yeah.
Unless the non-creative guy understands that this is your niche, your expertise, and they leave you to it and trust you with it. Then again, I also have clients who are super creative and super business. You know, they're a very rare breed of client. And they'll come in and they'll involve themselves. They'll be like, yeah, let's try this, let's try that. I'm feeling this in this part of the film, etc. You know, I have a client who produces huge shows at Coca-Cola Arena. Huge. Yeah. And when I'm talking produces, I mean for everything from the music to the video to the stage, lighting, seating, decorations, absolutely everything. The guy's a maniac, but he's amazing. and those are really hard and different people to come by. And it's always a pleasure to work with them because they know what they want.
Yeah. The ones
So,
that
yeah.
I had to deal with when it came to like film editing, way back in the day when I was just like even editing on site or something, I think I was at a venue that was holding an event and they wanted some editing and stuff. And these bunch of marketing dudes that had never had their hand in anything creative, music or whatever, came in and said, yeah, we need to change the music for the edit. And I was like, is there a reason for it? Like, which direction should I go in? What do you want the music to change to? And we haven't even exported the video. It was all on the timeline. And he was like, yeah, something a little more energetic, something a little more this. What I did was I right-clicked and disabled the track, dragged it down one track lower, enabled it again, and played the exact same video. And he went, there you go. Told you.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. I've done that a few times with back in the day with my older employer, with the producers there, on a mix basis. Turn up the VO, it's too low. All right. Re-export, rename.
Yeah, the number 3.
Mix to send. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I think we've all done that at one point.
Yeah, because I was just like, the way he was explaining it. And you could tell when somebody's looking at you and they're like, I feel like you just want to say something because you want to add your contribution, not because it's better for the project.
Yeah, that's usually what it is.
Yeah.
They want to feel like they did something or had something to do with it.
There's something that you're doing now that is still kind of unknown, especially here in the Middle East, with the Dolby Atmos and like immersive music mixes and stuff like that. That is, I mean, you've told me about it and I barely understand it. Can you explain it in any way to people that might not know what this is?
Dolby Atmos started in film, okay, after surround sound 5.1. It's immersive music. It's 11 channels of audio that is object based, and basically the way it works is with stereo you've got 2 channels, left and right, and your middle image. Let's throw that in there. But with Atmos, what you have is immersion, creating an immersive experience in the realm of sound. And if it's done correctly, it really is immersive. The reason that we push Dolby Atmos now, and the reason I set up Studio One for that, is because it is becoming a standard, especially in the automobile industry. Your cars are going to have it. Your phones accommodate it, and the platforms are accommodating it, namely Apple and Angami. Is it Angami? Yes, and Angami. I'm not plugging them in there because, I have anything to do with them aside from the work we do, but it is the fact.
Yeah.
These are the 2 platforms that have it. And with all those factors combined, you can have an immersive experience in your car. And I experienced this with In Flames' latest album in my friend's Ford F-150. What the fuck is that? What's going on with the screen over there? Why is that? Is that screen on? Sorry, bro.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So that's the reason we push it, because one, mixing in Atmos is for music is not difficult, and it produces far more transparent and dynamic stereo mixes as well. With stereo mixing, stereo mixing is great. I love stereo mixing, but it is harder than Atmos mixing in the sense that I can get the results that I want when I have Atmos to refer to quicker than if I'm mixing in stereo. Because I'm not fighting for space. With stereo, I'm fighting for space. I've only got 2 channels to work with, right?
Yeah.
With Atmos, I've got 11 channels. So I can space out, the overhead's a little bit wider, maybe, do a reverb throw for the snare so it doesn't kind of like take up too much space in the stereo image, put backing vocals a little bit wider in the mix, put something up top as well. And then when I hit with Atmos, our setup, the way it is now, we can get a stereo down mix by pressing a button, and it brings all those channels together in the stereo field, and it sounds great. Like you get two mixes at once, basically. And today, at least with Apple Music, they pay 10% more to any artist that does Atmos music. So if you're typically making $100,000 a month on your music streams, you're gonna make 110 with Apple Music if you produce your music in Atmos.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt to do that, to do it in Atmos, because it's like I always use this example: xenon lights. You remember the time of the halogen bulb with our cars? It was yellow, and then xenon came out. We're like, whoa, what's that? Oh my God, it's fancy. Okay. And now it's pretty much mainstream. And then it became LED, you know? Technology gets cheaper as it, progresses, and they adopt it more in the masses. And it's the same deal with Atmos music. Mercedes has it, Ford has a version of it. All the Chinese manufacturers, there's quite a few Chinese manufacturers that have it like standard in their cars now. It's coming, and we offer it, and we offer it at a good price too, to promote the artists. And ourselves over here, what we do is we have a deal with Apple and Angami/Dolby, where we'll get free marketing assets for the band. On Apple Music, if you've done your music in Atmos, they'll feature you on the front page, on the landing page of Apple Music in the spatial
huge
audio playlist.
Yeah.
They'll do a write-up as well for you, etc. So, we offer these things as part of it, free of charge. We don't charge for it because they don't charge us for it. They want to promote spatial audio. So we offer it to independent artists.
Yeah. How has it been trying to educate people on this, generally speaking? Because I feel like, at least the people I've spoken to, they're still very unaware of it. There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, but everybody listens to it on stereo, and there are some people that are like, yeah, let's jump on board. But how has it been from your perspective?
A lot of times, a lot of people that think they're listening to it in stereo are listening to the Atmos mix. Most big artists have done all of their albums and revisited their old catalogs and converted them to Atmos. It's like I said, if you don't have the setup for it, you're not going to hear it in Atmos. But the setups are coming. Yeah. Especially in cars. And most of us spend a lot of time in our cars. So, you can't really argue with people that think they know better. It's like, okay, you also want to say that, no problem. It's up to you. But tell that to In Flames, tell that to Megadeth, tell that to all these big bands that do it in Atmos.
It's sticking to VHS when DVD is about to come out and be around the corner.
No, you want to stay with 480p, stay with 480p. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think stereo is always going to be there. It's not going anywhere, but Atmos is going to be there with it. I won't be surprised if it eventually becomes a requirement because of, the distributors or the platforms, they want to upgrade and build their database of Atmos music, etc. I don't know.
But it's a good question for you. What is the difference for the artist who's recording if they're aiming to go Atmos?
What do you mean? What is the difference?
Like, is there anything else that the artist has to do recording wise?
No, recording is the same. The Atmos is in the post stage. Has nothing to do with the recording. There are tools that we can record in multi-channel format with, like I think, is it the Sphere mic that records? You're gonna have to come closer. I've got these plugs in my ears. Come speak in this foreskin. Huh?
The ambisonic mic.
Ambisonics?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, ambisonics mic. There's a mic that can record in Atmos. So, but tracking wise, it's the same principle. Tracking, there's only one way to track.
Yeah.
Everything is in the post stage, the mixing stage, with regards to Atmos. So you don't have to worry about that. You just have to record.
Yeah.
Or bring your recordings, any existing good recordings, and it works. We can make anything Atmos.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to check out more stuff. I obviously heard a couple in your studio, a couple of mixes, but it's gonna be cool to really, like, if that's the standard, to just actually check it out.
Curry Whiskers, it does. All right. We currently have a concert multi-track from a huge artist, a huge Arabic artist, that we have done an Atmos mix for and are waiting to hear back from. But the approach I took to mixing that was to give an immersive concert style approach.
Nice.
So the way we've set it up now is we've got the band on the stage. Okay. I know where the strings are sitting. I know where the percussion is sitting. The drummer obviously in the center, vocalists, choir, etc. And because Atmos is 7 speakers around and 4 on top, what we did was we simulated a concert venue for the mix. And we have the tops acting as fills, and we have throwback reverb farther in the back set up so that when you're sitting in there, and there's a crowd recording as well. So when you're sitting in the middle or you're listening on, Atmos headphones, etc., in Atmos, you feel like you're in a concert. There's a lot of engineers that'll do the cheesy stuff and do some like crazy fucking spin panning and all this shit. It's like when we started mixing in stereo, you're like, oh my God, look, it's going left and right. Listen to that.
I've definitely done that, by the way. Just delay pings.
Yeah. But, real immersive experience you can get with an Atmos mix with a good engineer who can imagine for the client, So yeah, no, it's you can get very creative with Atmos. Okay. I mean, you've heard it in film.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've been to an Atmos cinema. You see how immersive it is when you're. Not all the mixes are immersive, but you can tell somebody had a really good time when the sound in Atmos is really, really good.
Yeah,
because a lot of times they want to just get the film out quickly, do a basic Atmos mix, etc., low frequencies, blah blah, boost, all that. So, is the camera really still running? Are you sure? Double check, man. I don't want it to go off and we're live.
No, it's still running. You're still good.
That's fucking nuts. Oh, how long has it been?
We've been going for like an hour.
So the trick is to connect the stream in order for the battery to last. Right? Because it's supposed to run for 45 minutes anyway.
Yeah. We got some more juice because of the stream.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Atmos for you. It's coming. It's going to stay, and I always recommend, at least when they're working with us, that the artist go that route because we offer really, really good deals for them, and it also allows us to help market them, and we especially do this for the bands that we really, really like their music.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing for private government. We're redoing this the Come and Take album in Atmos.
Fuck yeah!
It should be done. It should be completed in a few weeks. I have to rework distribution because the old ones with CD Baby and they don't do Atmos. So I'll probably go with DistroKid and we'll just put it out there in Atmos. We'll be the first metal band in the region to have an Atmos mix.
Fuck yeah! We'll talk about private government in just a second, but Curry Whiskers has another question. What's the workflow for exporting stems in Atmos?
What's the workflow for exporting stems in Atmos? We don't export stems in Atmos. What you get for the final mix is an ADM file. I forgot what the hell ADM stands for. Anyway, it's a specific file when you're doing Atmos and you're doing a stereo export as well, Apple are really, really, really strict about certain protocol that must be followed. One of them being that they must start and end exactly the same, and if they don't, it gets rejected, and it's a fucking headache. But yeah, we don't export stems in Atmos. We receive stems for Atmos mixing, or we can do multi-track Atmos mixing. It really depends. We can even do it with a stereo track, but it's not the same. You know, it's just basically sending stereo signals to the rest of the speakers.
We have a nerd in the chat that figured out ADM, audio definition model.
There you go.
Code Skulls is another audio engineer. Ches says Svengali sounds better in mono. Thank you, Ches. Yeah, fuck you very much.
Yeah. So yeah, man. It's been a journey with the studio. You know, we're doing a lot of things. A lot of other studios cannot and are not. Our studio is set up a little bit differently. It's very flexible. Most producers that come here, they literally plug in their laptop. We download a driver for them, and they're ready to connect to our system. You know, they don't have to bother with wires and cables, etc. It's all the goodness of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, as somebody that's rehearsed in that space, not too often, but with this Svengali stuff, and then we ended up with a recording of the session that we could.
Did you use that finally? We had a really nice recording of yours once.
Yeah, we used it for promo material for that show that we were playing.
See, guys, that's exactly what we have the recording for. Take advantage of it. Don't be afraid to hear your fuck ups.
Damn, I heard a lot of my fuck ups.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to listen to my rehearsals. I know I screwed up somewhere.
No, but we basically synced it to the video, so we had a very nice clean audio instead of just a fucking camera mic. We had really nice audio synced to the video, and we used that on Instagram to promote the show. It was very fucking cool.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, but you guys are always here whenever you have a show to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
man.
It's
8 fucks, too many fucks.
Yeah,
I'm releasing an album of fuck ups. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, we should just release an album of all your outtakes. That's cool. There you go. But let's talk about private government, dude.
You know what I wish I brought? I was exporting the vocal stems for the track I did with Serge for the album.
Yeah.
And I have some outtakes, some fuck ups that he did. I should have brought it. We're gonna play it back.
Send it to me later. We'll add it. We'll add it in post.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. By the way, regarding Serge, Abhorred, like I just gotta throw this in there. I don't know if anybody's heard their old album, but we've remixed it, and holy shit. Fuck, what an album. Those guys were way ahead.
Yeah.
They're still way ahead musically.
For those that don't know Abhorred, maybe possibly one of the first metal fucking things from the UAE, probably. Fucking
they were one of the first.
The album's 20 years old, right?
Yeah. 2004 they recorded it at Mind Loop.
That's crazy.
3. Yeah, so Serge came to me like 2 years ago. He's like, dude, I've got the hard drive. Yeah, I've got the hard drive. Yeah, it's got the multi-tracks. Yeah, I don't know what he doesn't sound like this, but you know how he talks.
It's the vibe.
Yeah, it's the vibe. It's like, do you want to remix it? Yeah. So yeah, we reworked it. I had to change the kick and the snare. That was the only thing. The rest of the recordings were good. But it sounds fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of it. It is fucking huge.
Yeah, man, I can't wait till they put it out. They get their lazy asses off those couches and fucking do the work.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of that? A lot of people that are like the potential, everything's ready, but they're just a little slower than you'd like.
Look, I'll tell you one thing. If music is not your career, and you are not a professional musician, you generally tend to be lazy about it. Unless you have somebody who's taking care of it for you that wants it to happen.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot of musicians that we know that take their time. And I use the word musician lightly because I know the difference between a professional musician and,
dudes in bands.
Yeah.
I mean, I fall to that. I'm at fault with that as well. With Svengali or the unmuted stuff, I'm just like, We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it can't be like that. You're either in it 100% or you're not.
Yeah.
And they should have. I think they should have worked to release it September because it's the start of the end of the year. But they'll release it whenever they're ready.
Yeah. It'll get there eventually.
Kick-ass album. I'm sure who listens to death metal is gonna love it. It's just fucking heavy. Holy shit!
Yeah, it really is.
It's so heavy. Like, and the Mookie brothers, like Praveen with his. Oh my god, dude! Like the musicianship, like you have to hear the raw material. I can't tell you. And most of the time, those guys were drunk back in the day. It's so insane how like. And those fucking riffs. Yeah, I'm hearing it in my head. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So
I wanted to pivot to private government because that's something that comes up when we're doing, especially when we're talking about Middle Eastern metal bands and stuff like that. The name always comes up, and yeah, but just for anybody that might not know, because it's not necessarily just a band of dudes that get together. Like you said, it's you, the driving force, and then you kind of get guests from different bands to join you and add it. Can you just describe private government to us?
Okay. Private government is a collective of musicians spearheaded by myself with my sidekick Joe, and we like to feature good musicians, and we give them creative freedom, and we allow them to give input on the progression of the track that they're putting their material in. There's no my way or the highway with it. So yeah, it was like that with the first album, and it was even better that way with the second album. Everything you hear from the musicians, because I had Royden on there, I had Nadim from Aneurysm, I had Kieran as well, Hamdan Alabri. Who else was there? I can't remember. There was another 4. Anyway, Rami Lakis was there on there. He did bass for most of the tracks. They had creative freedom. I recorded the bass of the track, give them the music, do what you will. This is generally where your part comes in. If you have other ideas, feel free to slap it on. Sometimes I change my parts to suit their parts, especially with Rami on bass. That happened a lot.
Yeah.
Because I like the syncopation of his bass to the kick. So yeah, Rami's a phenomenal. He's the best for me. He's the best bassist ever.
He really is.
Yeah. Especially because he came from that background. He came from the metal background, and then now he does what he does with jazz and fusion and all that.
Yeah.
But all of that knowledge that he has in music and his bass, it just works with anything. I'm sorry for cutting through, but we got him in for a client. How long did it take for him to record the what's his face's album? The Sniper. Yeah, that guy. Took him like an hour to record all 3 tracks, right? Yeah, took him an hour. Tracks he never heard before.
Just
to
breeze through.
And then he just went in. And the best thing about his playing, you don't hear the frets.
Yeah.
I've never heard a fret buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get that buzz with bassists usually. But with Rami, it's just it's the fucking keyboard bass. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So you don't hear those. He's phenomenal. Anyway, yeah. So I gave them creative freedom, and even with the artwork, Ruba did the artwork for it. I love the artwork so much. In our physical version, the Digipack, there's a lot more artwork in there. And it came together in this form. It was everybody had an input. Nobody was limited, except by the fact that I was spearheading it.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I wanted to play "Come and Take" just so
you really like this track. You played
that's my favorite track. That's actually my favorite track on the album for sure. And I love the video and stuff. Is there anything?
We tried with the video, we tried.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, I tried. It was actually hard to. I had to rehearse standing and playing. You might catch me like fucking up a few parts on there, But I remember when we did the video, the challenge for me was to play and sing those parts, do those vocal parts, which was difficult. Yeah, but I managed. I think I got like a 70 out of 100. So
okay, well, let's check it out. Is there anything you want to tell the chat about what the song is, or what the video is about, or anything like that?
But the whole album, if you buy the digipack version, it's a concept album, and each song tells a story, tells a particular story about any particular scenario, like say, war or famine, unjust and all that. And it takes it from it tells a story from a modern context, and it tells a historical side too. So it's basically a combination of two stories in one. There's some biblical themes in there, there's political themes in there. But generally every single track takes more ancient history and modern history or modern times and combines them together to tell a story that is relevant to both. Basically saying history repeats itself. That's basically what it's saying, the whole album.
All right, let's check this out. Let's kill that background
the CD
music.
in my collection here. Oh, thanks, Rach.
Yo, Dan, thank you for checking in. What's Dan saying? About Ali's birthday? Just DM me on Discord, bro. All right, here we go. Let's just make sure that this plays for you as well. Oh, give me a second. Let me make sure Chatteroonie hears it.
Answer your question afterwards, Curry Whiskers.
There we go. Got Masha and Mustafa out.
night of riot, they learned that Lucas shot from home. The fighting spread round the island. Later on, a friend of mine confessed to me that he had used the football in order to create national contention. 1954, Turkey Day. Today, Cyprus is publishing.
These headphones are fantastic. That bass. Whoa.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that instrument you hear. That's a real. It's a Greek instrument. It's called baglamadaki. It's like a very small bouzouki that they usually use with Greek music.
Say
There's a
the name
bouzouki
again.
in the- Baglamadaki. It's like small. It's basically a baglama, but very small.
Let me just make sure that this isn't playing.
There's a bouzouki in there as well. Yeah, that's obviously a story about defiance and the last stand. you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, it's there's quite a bit of live instrumentation in there. Acoustic guitar. Tried to get an oud in there, but it wasn't working. So yeah. Milton's audio is doubled. Why is
wait,
my
what?
audio doubled?
I think I just fixed it there. There we go. Serge is in the house. Julian Gorilla is in the house. What's up, Julian? What's up, Serge?
Does it sound better, Curry Whiskers and Rachel?
It should sound better now, yeah.
Inshallah. What is it? He asked me something. What's some music we can check out from MNK? There's a lot, man. We've done a lot with a lot of different artists. I can send Adnan some stuff and he can send them to you later, but nothing off the top of my head. So yeah,
Yeah,
we've done
can,
quite a lot.
If you get us some stuff, I can absolutely drop it in the Discord after the stream. Exclamation point Discord. Join the fucking Discord if you haven't already. If you're chilling here and you're into music and some fuckery, just join the Discord. It's a great community. We'll probably be on there later today playing Counter-Strike or some dumb shit.
We were talking about you earlier, Serge. It was quite funny.
You're gonna have to watch the replay, Serge. You're gonna have to watch the replay.
Yeah. So yeah, the private government album is pretty cohesive in theme. There's a sound. There's a lot of good songs on there. I think Malon Lave and the 4-Minute Men are my favorite tunes on there. It's got a thematic intro and a thematic outro. There's a really nice track with Royden doing lead and solo throughout the whole thing. There's no lyric, no vocals. It's just him playing his thing, doing his thing. Yeah, it was just a collaborative effort, and that was back when I had time to just sit and do what I like doing, which is music.
That was going to be my question. Where's private government other than the remixing and mastering and Atmos of the album? Where is it at now? Like, where do you see it? The next step is.
I don't know. I can't say. I'm not gonna say no. It's done because I know that if I say Joe, let's write another album, he'll be like, fuck yeah. But I just haven't had time, and I've got a son now, and it's a lot of.
Oh, did we lose you for a second?
Hello?
No, you're good. You're still good.
I'm good?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Just cut out for a second.
Sorry. No, camera's not dead. It's still alive. Are you sure it's still alive? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got my boy over there. So what was I saying? Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Tamimi and JM and I and who else is there? We're doing a cover of an In Flames track, which we're gonna start mixing soon. I just got to finish the private government stuff. Tamimi's doing drums on it, so this will be the first time we have live drums on private government, which is cool. Rami Lakis is on bass as well, and Joe on guitars. So did I give? Of course, I gave it. You know what, Serge? I love Ruba. You not so much. All right. Like I always give a shout out to her, but she knows the value of work and art. No, está mi amigo.
Julian said, "Ew, I believe that's at the mention of Tamimi." I don't know. For those that don't know, by the way, Julian Gorilla, formerly from Guilty Gorilla Management, managed some of your favorite bands. And at the mention of In Flames. And some of them he doesn't have very good relationships with anymore.
Old In Flames.
Yeah,
when I say old, like my age, old, 43, so 20 years ago. Their music 20 years ago.
Yeah, he's been around them for a while.
You're one of those. You'll still insist on the ew. Fine, it's on you. Can't argue emotions.
He managed the Halo Effect. That's how I got to make videos with the Halo Effect and edit their music videos and stuff. Shout out to Julio Gonzalez, who doesn't stream anymore. Julian Gorilla. But
internet has been terrible lately. We know. Thank you for yesterday's news.
Yeah, but
it was.
I have one question when it comes to the metal stuff. The scene back then, the scene in the middle, where like maybe that's where I started propping up and getting to know you a little bit, and the scene right now. What's the biggest difference between the three eras, if you will, of the music scene? Passion.
Passion. We were limited to resources back then, so we did everything we could to be out there, right? Social media wasn't a thing. You had to get people in to come and see you. The rarity of gigs too, you know. You can't have spaghetti every day. So if you're doing a gig every weekend, I'm not gonna want to go every weekend.
Yeah.
But that's just me, you know. So every gig was precious, and I was at every gig back then because, you know, it was new bands coming up, you know, opportunities. There was the typical headache setting up and all that, but it was different. And I think every generation is going to say, yeah, my time was better, but it really was better at our time. There was more opportunity to grow. Less time to fuck around because, you know, you didn't have social media and you had no reason to be lazy. So, you know, you remember how it was, like how hard we had to work to really like just get out there and, you know, get a spot on stage. And, you know, the beautiful place about UAE, the beautiful thing about UAE is that if you're good, when I say good, I mean really good enough, and you work hard. And remember what I was saying earlier about people notice when you work hard and when you do good work, you get the opportunity to play on the big stage very easily.
Yeah.
But most people do not work hard. So a lot of people have not had the opportunity to get on stage easily. That was the case with Aneurysm. That was the case with Point of View, you know, and some other bands as well. But Aneurysm opened for most of the acts back then, like easy, like 7-8 major acts. I think 7 or 8 major acts from 2010 to 2014-15 or so. Like we were doing big gig after big gig after big gig, and it's because the artists wanted us to open for them because they heard the music and they saw our videos, you know.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of hate for it back then, but Don't give a fuck.
Svengali had the same. Everybody was like, "Why the fuck is Svengali opening again?" And it wasn't even on as big of a scale as Aneurysm, but it was just because we were ready.
Yeah, you were ready, and you were putting in the effort, and it always counts. You need to put in 100%. Like, you can't put less than 100% in absolutely anything to do with the creative world if you want to get out there.
Yeah,
people notice. People absolutely notice. That I can tell you. I notice. I can tell when a band walks in here if they're serious or not.
Yeah.
And if they're not serious, don't waste my time. So, yeah, it's I want to see this happen again with different acts. I want to see an act that really puts in 100%. Yeah, okay, I need to make the effort to go and see a gig, but I love Nickel, but how many times can you go to Oak Bar? So,
yeah, Oak has become a point in our conversations.
It's
on
become
this
the
channel.
music room.
Yeah.
Music room was great back in the day, but you couldn't have a gig every week over there.
Yeah.
So I just when the what's the word? When the headlining is right, I will go again. I want to see April's new band because I've heard her music.
Yeah.
Rachel's new band because I've heard her music. It's good music. Yeah, it's but everybody's gotta come together and don't be cheap. Don't be cheap, people. Please stop being cheap. This cheap mentality is really disgusting. So, I'm not saying this for me, for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Like, stop being fucking cheap. All right, you live in Dubai, you can't be cheap.
Let's get. I
This
want
place is expensive.
I want to read some of the chat. Tamim says the scene now is quantity more than quality.
Yeah, 100%.
Julian's asking what the In Flames cover is. Can we know?
No, I can't tell you now.
And he also adds, this is a wave that the Middle East is bound to have in the coming years. The West has had it as well. Treat it like Sweden treats it, and the scene will thrive. Treat it like a lot of the rest of the Western Europe treats it, and it goes to hell.
Treat it like Sweden treats it.
When passion over flooded with opportunity, it can get lost and stale. There you go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the thing that I noticed recently, and I've been very vocal about it, is it used to be the scene was cool. People supported bands. Maybe it was because of the way you're saying it was a rarity. But like, we would go to shows, you'd see whether it was Aneurysm or Svengali or fucking t-shirts, the people would be rocking and representing the local scene way more than you'd see Metallica, Lamb of God, and Slayer t-shirts. I feel like now it's not cool to like local bands. Like, it's not the thing people go for.
Which people?
The people that end up at shows. I mean, like you said, Oak has a show every weekend. I've been to a lot of them. A lot of it is covers. And a lot of people are more focused on like the theme of the night, like I'm going to a Linkin Park cover night. And when the bands are rocking up, they're not like, this is us. This is a band that's, I mean, there are still bands that are rocking original music and slugging it out and making videos and all that stuff. But that's not the main thing that I see anymore.
Look, I mean, the cover nights are nice. Like, it's fine. I get it. But, we want to hear original music. And I think most people want to hear original music. And it's you need to put in the effort in the original music. And that is difficult. And it is very difficult to sound different today. Because everybody thinks they sound different, but they don't really. And what's more is you need the support. Back then, we had radio shows that supported us. I had the first single on air, Ungrateful Being, from the first album.
Yeah.
It was back in 2003, and that was the first time anything local went on air. It was that rock show that got banned finally. Somebody complained about the Devil's music playing on the radio, so they canceled the show.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
Oh, it was fucking crazy. It was stupid. But anyway, we had more opportunity back then to meet radio presenters and talk about the local music scene. And that's what we were doing. We were pushing it a lot. We were pushing it on Fried.com as well. Fried was very involved with the music scene. And we just, newspaper articles. We did a lot of those, magazines, etc. We really, you really worked hard to get your name out there, and whether it lasted or not is another thing. But, there are many firsts that have happened over here. But we had to work really hard for it.
Yeah.
It was not easy. I mean, even in the later 2000s, the noughties they call it, it was difficult still, but there was more acceptance to original music being played on air, being played out there, So, I'm not surprised that they're doing cover nights. They'll get more attention. That's just, fact of the matter. Unless you have support from all ends, it's I say a lot. It's difficult. So you need the support, but I don't see that happening over here. I don't think we will ever see that happening unless there's a major headliner. That's the only time. Catching myself. That's the only time, if the band accepts to have an opener, that you'll hear original music from a local act, like really exposed out there is, and if they're good, then people will pick up on it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's a, it's a country. I keep catching myself saying, people come, people go. How many people came? People stayed.
Yeah.
So many people came and left. Who are the big bands out there that are still like international? Nerve Cell, okay, great. Who else is there? Asking Alexandria. They started over here with Bruce. Then they became a super sensation. I don't even know the story behind that. Well, I was very happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you could say he's homegrown. He was from here, like he was here.
Oh shit! Wait, I just saw the Lord asked me is in the chat. Elia مصور. What's good, brother? It's been.
Who's Lord asked me?
Elia مصور.
Oh, is it Elia?
Yeah.
Elia. You can't really build a fan base here due to the people come, people go.
Yeah, there's a very cyclical nature about the music scene here. It's lot of
always
people
been like that.
A lot of people come build something, but then they always go back home. It's never a 20-year career or project.
No, it can't be. It simply cannot be. Asking Alexandria is the perfect example. And other artists that grew up here, moved out, made it big outside, then came here. Then they made it big.
Yeah.
You want to make it big here, you got to start outside. It's just the way it is, Labels won't support, local rock talent or metal talent per se. They're focused on Arabic music over here, and they don't really care about the music either. It's just most of the people that I know who are running labels here, they have got no idea about music except the bands from their time or the music of their type, and even that is questionable. So it is tough. It is tough, but. It is tough, and it's always been tough. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It has not changed. What has changed is the work ethic with the bands, with the musicians, because of the availability of technology that wasn't there before. Get out there. You have to get out there. If you don't get out there, then you switching cameras.
Are we switching?
Are we still okay?
Yeah.
You have to get out there. The lazy people catch on laziness. Nobody likes it, and the attitude. Also like a lot of people, like a lot of these. There's a lot of nobodies out there that have a lot of attitude. It's like get an attitude check. Nobody's got time for it.
Let's check what chat's saying. Julian says. One of the reasons why Sweden has such a strong metal presence is because they have always kept their home base support. If you're from Gothenburg, you root for Gothenburg bands. If you're from Stockholm, you root for Stockholm bands. If you're into black metal, you stay in your basement and listen to some recordings.
Yeah, but most of them don't leave Sweden. It's not the same. People live here. Look what Tamimi is saying. It's like he didn't hear anything I said. Yeah, but if Ben didn't leave Dubai, all asking Alexandria would have been is a Juliana down or a nerve cell. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, look at them. They left. They made it huge out there, and now they're big here. Every other metal listener knows asking Alexandria. That's exactly what I said.
Curry has a question about playlists. Is it fair to say music streaming's playlists has made the majority of music listeners care less about artists these days? Music, especially metal, was heard to get back.
Look, okay. This is my take, all right? Number one, I fucking hate streaming platforms, but we're stuck with them, all right? I think that we should have stuck with CDs and not given into the whole subscription model of platforms like Spotify that don't even give a shit about their sound quality. They have the worst sound quality in the world. Everybody subscribed to them, and everybody's depending on playlists and this and that and this and that. The problem with today's music, okay, is everybody has access to create shit in their bedrooms and put it online. It used to be difficult to get into a studio to record. You had to be talented, you had to be really good and up your A game. I don't know what the phrase is. In your A game. Okay, you had to be good. Anybody who's not good can put music out. If there's hundreds of thousands of pieces of music going out online every single day, who's gonna give a shit about fucking music? It's just background noise at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What do you guys listen to? You listen to your tracks that you grew up with, right? It's the same with me right now. I'm listening to 80s music, 90s music, 80s metal, 90s metal, some recent metal. When I say recent, I mean 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Not anything before, because the rest of the metal shit sounds the same. Everything's processed. There's no raw sound anymore. You know, that thing that was just like really heavy, electrifying metal, like the 80s, the sound of the 80s. But everybody's got access, and the reason music was so appreciated back then in the day was because only good musicians did music, and people who were truly talented, and you had to pay for their music to appreciate it and listen to it. Now, if you pay a few 20 dirhams per month for a subscription, why do you care? It's all there.
Yeah.
Millions of songs for you to listen to at your own, call. So, it's like I was saying about the abundance of, gigs every day, or, spaghetti every day. Well, so you gotta care. I listen to the music I like to listen to. Most of the music sounds the same nowadays. The beauty of the 80s is that everybody sounded different. Megadeth didn't sound like Slayer, didn't sound like Testament, didn't sound like Metallica, didn't sound like In Flames, didn't sound like Children of Bodom, didn't sound like any of these bands. Every band sounded different, right? 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Now everybody sounds the same. They all go to Andy Sneap, okay? And he does the same thing for all the metal bands. The same drum sound, same guitar sound, same bass sound. Yeah, that's my rant. I like Andy Sneap, he's fucking great, but he's made all the bands sound the same. So
there's always one in every scene, even in every subgenre, that they like the way that sounds, and everybody kind of spearheads straight towards that engineer or the guy that mixes it, and everybody ends up sounding very similar.
But that's why they're all mediocre now. Nobody stands out. Who stood out? I'll tell you who really stood out in the late 2000s was Machine Head with Colin Richardson on the Blackening album. That was a phenomenal sound. Yeah, it was a bit on the high side, but it was just a sound to be reckoned with, right? It was fucking insane. It was fucking heavy. That snare was like it was full of balls. It was like Bach. It was like Bach, like that. It's like I'll slap you with my dick. That's what it fucking sounded like. That fucking music. Jesus Christ. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, the album's still one of my top 3 albums of all time. I fucking love that album.
Yeah, man. No, it's a good album. But again, it was different. It sounded different. Then they went to the more mainstream sound with what was it called? Locust,
yeah.
Something like that. I didn't like that album. And I don't like Rob Flynn anymore. He's too emo. He's 50 years old and fucking emo. Grow the fuck up.
That's my dude. I fucking love Rob Flynn.
What's this? What's Rachel asking?
Milton, in your opinion, should I take April somewhere else and base myself in Europe?
I can't answer that for you, Rachel.
That's a heavy question.
That's something that you need to decide. If you find a way to make it happen so that you go big from here, then you'll be the first.
Yeah. There was a question I saw earlier from Julian. Has nobody tried to set up a record label in rock and metal in Dubai properly?
There have been so many.
But I don't think it was like
Elia is one of them. I think he tried to do it years ago. There was other labels there's so many labels that have come and gone.
Yeah.
So many, because they get into the business and they don't realize how hard it is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're competing with commercial labels like the big names. So it's a tough business, especially today being a label. It's a tough business because back then it was all right. We've got CD, vinyl, etc. We've got to pay for the recording of the band. We've got to promote the band. The band's got to make the music. We've got to do marketing, etc. Get a deal with so-and-so publisher, etc. and all this, blah, blah. Get the music out. Now it's streams.
Yeah.
Streams don't make money. But these big artists, they don't make huge money from streams. They make huge money from concerts. They have to do live gigs. Search. CSM tried, but it was the same problem with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many. There were so many labels that have come and gone. So many, so many companies that have tried to support, building a local music. Like when I say local music scene, I mean make Dubai a base for music to release worldwide. But I think it's near impossible.
Hoffmeister's saying
not this stage anyway.
Hoffmeister's bringing back the conversation about venues. It's also hard as music venues are closing, so bands don't have places to play. And my hometown, most venues near me prefer cover bands or tribute bands, and etc. And it gets the crowds in, is what he's saying. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing here, Hoffmeister.
Look, one of the big problems over here is with regards to licenses. Okay, the municipality has a hand in everything. Every time you perform on stage, money has to be paid out for that to happen. You need to have a license to perform, and it's not cheap. So venues would rather pay a DJ and pay one license than pay 5 for a band to officially perform.
Yeah.
And albeit commercial music. It's difficult. It's the way things are set up, and the way these fees that they have here is based on old laws that they had in the 70s, because in the 70s they had different forms of entertainment. You can figure it out for yourself. So it's there's a lot of hindrances that don't help the venues, and I get that. The venues make a lot of money, but they also spend a lot of money. Like, it's not all money in their pocket. Like, they're paying, licensing fees. They're paying, their overheads every month, alcohol licensing fees, all this. It's not cheap to run a venue. So I can understand that, but it really depends on the venue itself, how much they're willing to, it takes effort and it takes money. Over here, it takes money. It's not easy over here. It's not like Europe. In Europe, you can walk into a bar and say, listen, I've got a great group. I want to set up over here. I want to play my music and see if we get a band going. Yeah? Hey, sure, man. Go ahead. Fucking do it. Here, it's different. It's completely different over here.
Yeah.
So, it's... but the story's been the same for the past 30 years. It hasn't changed. What we're talking about now has not changed 40 years, not 30 years, 40 years. It hasn't changed.
Elia has perspective from the label company side. He says it was also hard to deal with artists and bands, especially the ones in the Middle East. Too many mouths in one band and too many opinions and expectations. It always leads up to breakups and the label's fault.
I don't like democracies. There needs to be somebody who takes charge and who calls the shots, a director of sorts in a band. He's right about that. Jay is right about the licensing per performer per night as well. He's very correct about that. That's why I was saying it was expensive. As far as bands are concerned, you know, this part of the world doesn't thrive on democracy. It thrives on decision making. So you need one person that makes those decisions. And I guess that's kind of why it worked with, say, Aneurysm, because while we had our opinions, if it worked for the band, John would say okay. If it didn't work for the band, or if he didn't think it would work for the band, he would say no. Like, okay, fine, it is what it is, you know. But I think the fact that we had the opportunities we had worked. It means that it worked. However he handled it. It was his, you know, it's his project anyway. So you need somebody who calls the shots. There's no democracy in a band. You need a band leader, otherwise it's fucking chaos. It's like your house. It's the same thing like your house. You know, you go home, your dad's in charge or your mom's in charge. The kids are not in charge. If the kids have equal say, then there's fucking chaos. It's just the way it is, you know. So you need somebody who takes decisions, deals with the agent, learns how to deal with agents, learns a little bit about the business as well. It's important to learn about the business, because if you don't, you're going to think you're getting fucked over when all you're doing is getting money in your pocket, being asked to do music. You don't do the music, and then you say that the label robbed you of your music. That's not how it works. I was saying this earlier. If the label pays for the music is theirs. The recording, I mean, not the music. The music belongs to the artist. It'll always belong to the artist, but the recording itself will belong to the label, will belong to the person who paid for it. It's an unwritten rule. You can't contest it. If I pay for your music, Adnan, for you to come and record it over here, any music, I tell you, you do it for free, it belongs to me. It doesn't belong to you, the recording.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just the way it is.
Jay, thank you for checking in. And Lord Ask Me, thank you for checking in. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, man. There's a lot of people that are really interested in this stuff. Bloodywood is a good example. They're from India, but don't focus on anything much locally. Yeah, there's a good argument to say that I think I saw Askur was saying somewhere in the chat that you know, now one of the advantages of having everything streaming and being online is being able to export your art quicker. But I go back to what you were saying. You're sifting through a bin of 100,000 songs a day versus sifting through a bin of 100 songs a day. So it is easier to export, but my personal belief is if you're not a hometown hero to begin with, it's very difficult to expand, because you need that base behind you to help you shoot out into international waters.
Everything is who you know. Everything, it's always about who you know. Okay, and if you have the talent. Why did Metallica become so big? Because they wrote quite unique material and they took charge of their own music from a very early stage in their musical career. And they sold out venues, from small venues to large venues. And then they had a team behind them that was exporting their music for them. If you are focusing on a market yourself, outside of your local market, good for you, but you're competing with 100,000 others who are doing the same. You're not alone, you know. And the only way you really make it big is if you really do something stellar, something different. That was the camera switch.
There you go.
Do something different, or you have a team behind you to push your shit out, you know, and a good team. How much garbage is out there that's so famous? Ooh, yeah. So, you know, disagree because marketing. What is disagree because marketing? What? Because I mean, what?
You mean with marketing you can get You can break that wall down. Is that what you mean, Oscar?
I
Because
like
of
that. Yeah, because of me. Yeah. Good one, Curry Whiskers. Yeah, yeah. That guy is going to. He will go to the grave thinking about Metallica when he's dead.
I mean, they
Stop.
announced
It's been 40 fucking years.
their final tour got announced. World tour, last album. Megadeth is done.
Yeah. Maybe he's tired. But yeah, it's not easy. It's like I said, there's hundreds of thousands of shit people every day putting shit music out there. And you're a needle in a haystack trying your best. And people out there are trying to sift through these playlists looking for good artists like you. Right?
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, you really have to be something. And I'm sorry, but most people are not something today. When we get good artists in the studio, they get their recording done in less than 2 hours. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 2 hours. They come ready. They've come prepared. They know exactly what they want. Okay, we're doing this and this and this. They've got their sheets, etc. They're so fucking organized, and they just get it fucking done. What can you say about, the other bands that are trying to make it? How long do they take to record? Look at fucking me. How long I took with the second album? It took 9 years to finish that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Revisions. Oh, I have the time of my life. It's my music. If I was paying studio time for it, it would have cost me millions. For the amount of time I spent recording, re-recording, I calculated it's freaking nuts. So, you think you're not wasting time because it's your album, but you are wasting time. That's a lot of precious time that you could be resourceful with somewhere else. So it's you have to be serious if you want to really make it out there in today's market. My sole belief is you can't do it from here, at least not now. And if you do it from here, then I'm so happy for you. Like, if you're trying to hit that, but doing that means giving up your day job. You can't be doing a day job and doing this when you want this to be your source of income.
Mm-hmm.
Means you got to find the right group that's willing to take that risk. You got to go out on tour. You got to put your name out there. It's hard fucking work. Like, those bands back in the day, that's what they did every day, every month or whatever it is. That's all they spend their time doing, and whatever money they made, they put into some new gear, etc. Hire somebody new to help them, etc. And it was just build. Dude, we're just doing fucking music, man. That's what we're gonna do, okay?
Yeah.
So
I feel like I know that guy.
That's my Lars impression. So yeah, but here you have a day job, you make some money, and then you do music on the side. How serious can you be with that?
Yeah.
And it's not blaming them. That's how it is here. You have to have a day job, otherwise you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
If you find a day job where you get to play music, like a lot of our friends, they side hustle with a gig every weekend and they make decent money.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about this place. If you lock a decent gig, you make decent money every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's far more than anybody makes in Europe in a pub. Far more. But then you kind of get stuck in that. Like, how do you grow from that?
Yeah.
Depending on what you want as you doing that.
Yeah, Tamim says right here, there he is.
Yeah. Like, if there's so much opportunity, but you gotta know how to talk, you gotta be presentable, you gotta be firm, and you gotta play well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they bring race into it, but race has got nothing to do with it. You're either good or you're not. And you know how to talk. If you don't know how to talk and all you talk is emotions, then nobody's going to take you seriously.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to deal with that. These are businessmen at the end of the day that are running these pubs and venues, etc. So,
Speaking of race, I think it's the opposite because you and I disagree on the idea of being able to make it out of here, but using Arab metal band or like Middle Eastern metal or rock or first Middle Eastern female fronted band or any of that stuff, it actually drives more attention to it. And I feel like if you utilize that, you can create some buzz for them to actually check out the music eventually.
but you need the team.
Yeah. Given that everything else is in the right place, 100%.
Who do you know is going to take that risk, putting out a band that people still generally consider the music to be the devil's music? I would love the idea of making it big from here. They got support from a label. They did their marketing. They hit the right channels. Blow up. You're on American Airways, you're on European Airwaves, Australian Airwaves, African Airwaves, whatever it is. Fucking great. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. Not anytime soon. This is a place you get the opportunity to produce good music. You get your well-produced music done here by good producers here, etc. But then you take it outside and you put it out. Can't do it from here. No chance. I don't see it happening. You guys can contest all you want. Serge, I know you're, I reckon Saudi will get a band out into international waters before the UAE. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. No fucking way. They're 30 years behind. They're trying to get done in 10 years what it took the UAE 50 years to do. No fucking chance. Only Arabic music. Only Arabic music. And even the Arab musicians, even the big Arab musicians, they don't do their music, they don't do distribution locally. They do it from abroad.
Yeah.
It's from abroad, from I think mainly Levant countries. If you can correct me. But recordings get done here. Maybe some distribution gets done here, but most of the push is from outside. It's a different, like, they're appealing to the entire MENA with Arabic music. It's a huge market. That's hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that they're catering to.
Yeah.
So why are they going to care about, April?
She said, I got my
Arabic
answer.
Audience. Yeah. What? It's a serious question. How are you going to put yourself out there with all of these hindrances in the way?
Yeah.
Your music appeals to people who listen to this kind of music and the Western audience, not the Arabic audience.
Yeah, that's very true. I never thought about it that way. Where you're not competing with the metal band next door. You're competing with airtime with everybody, including the Arabic artists, including all the things that we import, including all of that stuff before any of the metal gets out.
Yeah.
Julian says, I like this guy, straightforward, angry, and more angry. But the right things, nice, also realistic. Julian's very much like you, by the way. I need to introduce you guys to each other because he's exactly, he even looks like you, I'll be honest.
But Rotana is not from here, Tamimi. It's not from here. That's my point. They have a base here, but it's not from here. It's I would love to see the music scene thrive with an explosion of artistry from here abroad, but I really do not see it happening.
No,
I don't see it happening. Not anytime soon. Maybe Elia can cast some insight since he's had the privilege of being in multiple failed labels.
Jesus.
So, I love you, Elia. I'll say it like it is. Like, at one point he hated music, and that's probably why. It's just, fucking chaos, So,
but the primary thing is get your shit together first. Record properly, and figure out, be surrounded by people that actually want to see you succeed before any of the export. I think that's one of the things that we're currently struggling with here in the scene, is just putting out random songs that you mixed on your laptop isn't it. I'd rather you put it out than not, but at the same time, like, I had JM on one of those Vengani Sundays, and he was saying like everybody would fork up $15K for a new guitar, but no one would pay for studio time to actually sit down and use that guitar to record properly.
There you go. You know, that's the perfect example. It's just like he said. They go complain that they've got no money, but they've got 30,000 guitars in their house. You know, or they've gone out and, you know, they go and buy Cuban cigars, or, you know, they go out every night for a beer. How much does a fucking beer cost?
And then you laughed a little bit.
Or you got fucking tattoos, sleeve tattoos on your fucking arm. How much does that fucking thing cost? I don't have any tattoos. I don't like them, you know? But how much does that fucking thing cost?
Yeah.
An arm and a fucking leg, literally. So, you know, spare the bullshit about not having any money. If you love what you do, if you love the music, you spend on it, okay? But that music video, I'll tell you how much that music video cost me to do. It cost me 25,000 dirhams to do. 25 that I spent on my own, but I wanted to do a music video.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I need at least one music video for a song in my album, and I'm going to spend the money. And I did, and I have no regrets. It's got a few thousand views. It's fucking great, you know? A few people have seen the video, but I didn't do it for them. I did it for me.
Yeah.
I did it for the song. Do I want to be a rock star? Nope, I do not want to be a rock star. I've never wanted to be a rock star. Did I enjoy the thrill of being on stage? I love being on stage. And I think I look good on stage playing fucking guitar. Okay? But do I want to be a rock star? Nope, never wanted to be a rock star. I just like to do music. I like to record music. I like to mix music. And I like to tell stories. But don't be fucking cheap. Like, fuck you. Don't be fucking cheap. All right? Spare me the bullshit. If you're paying 100 dirhams for a shit rehearsal studio, I'm going to say this right now. You're overpaying.
Yeah.
Because you're paying for concrete walls. You're paying for concrete walls. I'm not telling you come here, but don't give me the excuse that it's expensive. Nothing is expensive if you don't want it to be. And you're 5 people in the band. Really? And you're all in your 30s working. Really?
Lesson of the night, don't be fucking cheap. Yeah, exactly.
Don't be fucking cheap. I know way too many cheap people. It's fucking annoying.
Can we get an exclamation point clap in the chat, you guys? we need a clap. Mr. Shiro, what's good? I want to see the link. Which link? The private government music video. We'll post it on Discord so everybody can go check it out as well, and go leave some don't be fucking cheap in the comments or something. Yeah, I'll post it on Discord. Exclamation point Discord. If you're not already over there, join the community. I know Milton said he doesn't fuck with tribes, but join the tribe. That's what we call this community, because it's just a bunch of random ass people from don't be fucking cheap. Let's make it a new emote. Yeah, let's do that.
Tamimi says, can we stream this directly to the Aussie gig members' phones?
Hey, when this is on YouTube, you guys gotta send that link to some people. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be.
I have one more thing to say.
Hit it.
Just because I make an offer to somebody doesn't mean I'm offering them an under the table deal. Okay? I'm offering somebody who's come to me and asked me for a favor the opportunity to come and rehearse over here and have a good time. If you have ulterior motives, it's on you. But don't go around saying that I'm doing under the table deals with anybody. It's fucking cheap. It's fucking pathetic. You know who you are, cunt.
It got more heated. All right, man. I fucking love this. I appreciate you.
You probably bring this fucking anger out of me. I was in fucking Cyprus trying to have a good time, and I had to deal with this shit.
He poked. It was Julian Gorilla who says it was me.
No, it wasn't Julian.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So yeah, that's that. I hope I've divulged enough information for the younger crew to kind of accept of the way things are and the way they should do things, because people notice. So 2 takeaways: people notice. Don't be cheap.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
People notice and don't be cheap. I
Mm.
appreciate you, man. This has been a fucking good conversation. I really enjoyed it. And chat, thank you guys for all the questions and for hanging out as well. This is
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the questions. Rachel, don't say anything. Thank you for all the questions. If do they have any more questions before we sign off?
Yeah,
It's been more than 90 minutes. I can't believe the camera lasted this long.
Yeah, yeah. Any questions for Milton or for myself? Drop them in the chat. Any about any of the stuff we talked about, anything that we wanted to link, MNK work, the music video, links to Milton stuff is all going to be on Discord. We're going to post it right after the stream. We're also going to hang out on Discord if you guys want to hang out. We do like game nights and shit. We're probably going to play some dumb Counter-Strike or anything. If I come to the UAE, do we yell at things with a bunch of people? Is that a thing we can organize? That's my question. I want to complain loudly as well.
You can complain without all the swearing. You know, sorry. I've done a number of panels. I've been invited to talk, like proper official panels, and usually in those panels you can say your thoughts without being as blunt, like we are being on Twitch. But the opportunity is there if you get invited on a panel.
Hell yeah.
And I do my best. I whenever I get invited, like I do the same thing I'm on here. It's just like ding 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 ding. Now whether they absorb it or not, totally different, But I think, for example, tonight Rachel is probably taking some ideas and gonna figure out how to push April or the new band that she has, etc. I want to look. I want to see the scene thrive as much as you do, but you're very limited over here with venues, with opportunities, especially if you don't put in the effort.
Yeah.
So,
Curry Whiskers is asking you: is MNK open to freelance engineers?
MNK, we do work sometimes with independent producers if there's an overload of work, or if there's specific work that we might not know how to do as far as music production is concerned. Say, for example, Emirati music. We do work outside. Freelance engineering, we haven't yet, but if we do, I won't say no. It's not a never thing. It just the opportunity hasn't come through yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure. Come and yell at things. Julian. I love yelling. I love telling people like it is. Love you. Soon. Thanks to me, mate. Yeah, MNK. Okay, deal breaker. If I can't swear, then I can't speak. If you want to go to jail, then swear all you like, Julian. I work in post production. Yes, of course you can. We've done a lot of that, Curry Whiskers. What's his real name?
I'm not even sure.
Curry, what's your real name? Michael Curry. Why do I think it's Michael? I work in post production. I could have been in a film. Yes, you can. We do that quite often. Stefan or Steven?
Oh, it's Saldana, Josh's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Josh has a brother?
Yeah.
Does he know? Does he know that his brother is in our first music video back in 2009, playing drums?
Probably.
If he's yelling like that, means he has Arabic blood. No, I'm Greek Cypriot. It's Greek. Don't say that out loud. I'm not gonna say I'm Saudi again. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's that for. I think I've said everything that should be said. You just have to work hard. Most people don't work hard over here in this, what we do.
I'm gonna throw an idea out there, Julian. I'm gonna lump you in with this, but I think it would be a sick idea to have Milton and Julian as guest judges on a show where we play a bunch of unsigned and like underground
Are you
bands.
expecting 2 Simon Cowells? Is that what you want?
And you guys give, they ask you questions, listen to the music, and then you give them feedback.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a sick show. That's not fair to the band.
Nobody would make it. Nobody would make it. There'll be no winners.
All right, you guys.
Yeah. No, man. Look. There are some good bands. We've worked with some really talented musicians and talented young bands. But I can tell you straight up that as talented as they are, you know, they have a long way to go before anybody recognizes them. And I'm saying this plural. There's no singular. They have a long way to go before anybody will recognize them. They think, you know, they can dismiss the efforts of their team that have worked with them, and that they can make it on their own. Sorry, that's not how it works. You got to know the right people, and you have to have the right people push you. And if more people know about you, and word of mouth is a really, really strong factor over here. It's in anywhere, actually. You know, if the wrong word about you gets out and it's verified, you're on your own. Nobody's going to support you.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep the attitude in check. You know, if you're a nobody, think like a nobody, because nobody's going to listen to you. And work to be somebody. And that involves taking advice, listening to those who know more than you do, stop pretending that you know anything, and you'll be okay. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's it. Do I need to say anything else?
You already had a mess with the last jury panel you picked. How did that end up, Adnan? It wasn't that bad. We had fucking Mark Hunter from Chimera. We had you, Julian Gorilla. We had Mike Malian from Monuments. We had a good panel, Julian. Okay, well, except for you, because you shat on everybody. But
what bike do you have, Julian?
Yeah, you guys are the same person.
He's excited probably too. He's like, "Is it a fat boy? Is it a fat boy? Is it a fat boy?"
I told you guys are the same person. There's
Or do you
there's
buy
a
one
lot.
of Intruder 1500? What's Intruder? I don't know what Intruder is. Is that a BMW? Tamimi and I, we have fat boys. But Tamimi's a fat boy. Yeah.
You guys start
I don't know what an Intruder
nerding out
1500
about music and bikes.
Oh, Suzuki Chopper. Nice. Okay. Nice. Suzuki, they had the Boulevard. That was the only bike I liked from them back then. I don't know about now. They still make it.
Last chance, Chaz. Don't be
okay.
fucking cheap. Emote is already made and in general chat on Discord. Perfect. Forever immortalized on the stream. We're gonna add it as an emote on the stream, and next stream, you guys, we're gonna flood the screen with it. I'll record it and then send it to Milton to show him that we're gonna keep it forever. But yeah, man, I appreciate you being here, man. It's great to chat and catch up with you and get your take on everything. And
yeah, it's it's everything, dude. Like it's not just how people deal with each other. It's if you are self-aware. If you are self-aware, then you can move forward. If you are not self-aware, it's impossible to move forward. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
If somebody does something for you and you don't recognize it because you're so self-absorbed, you're never going to go anywhere. Understand? You're never going to go anywhere if you are only looking at your own reflection.
There you go. Wise fucking words.
This chat. Like those people who walk on Manhattan with those fucking windows and just like, just fucking walking and looking at themselves in the reflection. It's like, stop fucking looking at yourself. You know? So, anyway.
Oscar says it's a compliment, by the way. I have
Just
the urge
notes,
to fight
notes.
with you, Milton. It's been a while since someone challenged me this much. That's a good thing. Yeah,
How am
being
I
challenged is
challenging
part of it.
How am I challenging you?
With the conversation. Like it's not just all easy. It's like, thought provoking.
Well, I've seen it for 20 years here. So, and anybody who I know has gone through this journey has seen it too. And they're not arguing because it's true. And it's not just artists, it's even the way, the way the authorities allow things to, they should be more accommodating to talent taking the stage without charging an arm and a leg to the venue so that they can play, so that you expose more talent. Because, anybody notices a good band when there's a good band on stage, and they don't need to be affiliated with a particular genre. If it's good music, it's good music. And hire a good sound engineer to make you sound good on stage so it doesn't sound like shit, so it doesn't hurt and people leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah. But I have the urge to fight you, Milton. It's been a while since someone challenged me. It sounds so passionate, Askur. So passionate. It almost sounds like 50 Shades of Grey. You can tell when someone's been in the music and super angry and straightforward. Is Donald Trump having a love child with Satan? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Donald.
All right. With that last line,
guys,
go for it.
You're stopping at MNK clips. 50,000 of them. I'm married, bro.
Oh man, I fucking love this. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Milton.
Bring some money and have a good time.
I appreciate you,
Listen, bro. Can you keep this list of people who signed into this?
Yeah. It's all there, and it'll show up on top at the on the YouTube video as well, so everybody could see the chat.
All right, sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you, dude.
Thank you, man.
Very nice to talk to you. And by the way, I just wanted to say these things from Shireen from Dr. Head, they're fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're fucking phenomenal. I went in with no expect because I'm nothing surprises me usually, but I walked in and she did the whole, I want to surprise you with this fun. So I opened the box, on video. I'm like, oh my god, it looks fucking great. I put it on. I put some Limp Bizkit. Holy shit. It's like a mix of studio and live speakers. It's really weird. I can't describe it. So shout out to my dear friend Shireen.
Shout out to Shireen awesome from Dr. Head. That answers your question, Mr. Shiro, as well. Absolutely. Shireen, yes. spot on impression. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I must go. My boys want to go home and sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. With that being said, we're gonna read the big deck. Deck DEC. Don't
what?
Milton doesn't know what a raid is, but everybody go yell positive stuff and nice stuff at Big Deck. He's listening to music and taking requests and stuff. And if you want to play some Counter-Strike or do something, come on to Discord. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow us on Twitch and follow on Instagram. I'll have everything related to Milton and everything that you guys asked about in the description of the video and on Discord as well. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, who knows how we end these streams? Who knows how we end these streams? Who's the first person that's going to say it? The first person that says it is going to get a surprise. It's going to be the picture of my ass. But there you go. Coat Skulls, hit the outro. Milton, can you do the honors? Say the 3 magic words.
Hit the outro.